Hello, everyone. It's
Hi.
your boy Keith and your girl Casey.
It's me. Hi.
You know, if we're together, it must be the stats you need to know for week 15. Casey, where is the time gone?
Bruh, if I only knew. If I
Brah, I
only
like
knew.
that. Brah.
I tell you
Um,
what, I don't want to be one of those people that says it's December already, but I am that person.
it's December already? What?
I,
Uh,
man.
there's like seriously real scary thought. 16 or technically 15 shopping days or 14 shopping days until actually Christmas. Yikes. This guy has bought like 4 gifts, so he needs to get moving. Um, let's start with a little bonus stat.
Okie dokie.
Feel very bad for Daniel Jones,
Mm-hmm.
Colts fans, but with Phillip Rivers signing today, I'm pretty sure he is one of the few players who was a granddad while making an NFL start, because I think he will start Sunday. And even more crazy to me, what is it? Riley Lincoln. Or wait a minute. I'm getting it mixed up. Riley, what's his last name? The guy from, is it Leonard? The dude from Notre Dame.
Oh, man, not like I know anything about college, anything.
Well, I mean, he was their quarterback this week. I can't believe I'm blanking
Oh,
on it.
yeah, that dude. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't
think
know
it's-
schools.
It is
Yeah,
Riley
what's his
Leonard,
name
right?
on this? Look, we can't even think of his name.
It's
Poor
Riley
dude.
Leonard, right?
I think it is.
Well, since we wasted 30 seconds on that, and I've
Yeah, look at
totally
us,
killed the
sorry.
joke. I was going to say
It was
that
hilarious.
Phillip Rivers has a child that is older than Riley Leonard. So
That's
do
crazy.
that what you will. I would love if he comes in and does well. I would just love to hear some of the jokes and stuff in the locker room from those guys. I think it would be very well received. Let's get into the stats, and let's start with apparently the second coming of Jerry Rice. Of course, I am talking about Michael Wilson,
Of course.
who has now made three starts with Jakobi Brissett at quarterback. And of course, that is without Marvin Harrison Jr. So again, Jakobi Brissett, quarterback, without Marvin Harrison Jr. And I just want to look where he would rank among pass catchers for the season, just giving those 3-game totals. His 49 targets over those 3 games would tie him for 86 among all pass catchers. The 36 receptions would tie for 75th. And the 445 yards would be 67th. He also, by his second week as wide receiver 1 overall, joined Drake London as the only wide receivers this season to accomplish that. And it has been a weird year at wide receiver with guys like Troy Franklin, Trey Tucker, and of course, Michael Wilson twice being wide receiver 1. So Michael Wilson is feeding families. I am pretty sure people that made the playoffs and own Michael Wilson are probably, trying to figure out how they can keep Marvin Harrison Jr. out of that lineup for at least through the next 3 weeks. But it is, I can't ever remember anything like it. Can you, where somebody has had like this kind of run? Because 3 weeks, it's no longer a small sample size. Like, this is a trend.
Oh, man. I'd have to bruh, I have to go back again, bruh. I have to go back and really.
You can call me bruh whenever you want to.
Yeah, this has been, it has been a very weird year for wide receivers. Well, we can talk about tight end who has seen target shares. Let's see what his target shares are. We've got Kyle Pitts here. Let's see what those target shares are. 29%, 22%, 24%, and then over the weekend, 33% in 4 games with Kirk Cousins and without Drake London. Again, without Drake London, see? He averaged 64.0 receiving yards per game in this sample, which is tight end 2 in that sample, but just 12.4 fantasy points per game, 0 touchdowns.
I mean, it is the Falcons, right? So,
It is
like,
the Falcons.
so Kyle Pitts finally performing,
Yeah.
but we have to sacrifice having one of the worst offenses in the NFL because
That
we
is
have no other
yeah.
wide receivers and Kirk Cousins. He just flat out stole over $100 million from Terry Fontenot, who, for the love of God, fire. Like, there is rumors in Atlanta that Raheem and Fontenot could be back next year, and everything is awful. It is what it is.
Deep breath.
Let's talk about somebody who is not awful.
Okay.
By any stretch of the imagination, and that is Superman, aka Josh Allen, who had a career-long 40-yard touchdown run with the Bills, trailing the Bengals by 10 late in the second half on Sunday, thanks to a 63-yard pick six. Right after, the Bills completed their huge comeback victory, giving them still a chance to catch the New England Patriots and win the division and maybe even the number one seed overall. Allen finished with 3 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, and oh, by the way, he outrushed the entire Bengals backfield 78-62.
Whoa.
The guy who won the MVP last year now has 3 career games with at least 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, and 75 plus yards on the ground, breaking a tie with Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick for the most such games in the Super Bowl era. Allen is now also just 3 passing touchdowns away from his 3rd straight season with 25 plus passing touchdowns and 12 or more rushing touchdowns. No other player, by the way, in NFL history has had a single season with both of those touchdown totals. And I know people get tired of voting for the same people for MVP over and over again. I get it. Like, I think that hurt Lamar last year when he had that spectacular season, but come on, people. Josh Allen has now accounted for 34 of the 44 Bills touchdowns this season. And I think he's like 6 or 7 to 1 to win the MVP. If you're in a place you can bet, I might put a few dollars on that. I'm just saying,
You know.
Open up the old piggy bank, if you will.
Do you remember that game where the Jags, they lost to the Rams in London? It was 35-7. Okay. Since then,
I was playing Devontae Adams, and he scored 3 touchdowns and had 5 catches for 30 yards. So I do remember it very much.
Okay. Well, since then, they're averaging 30 points per game in the 6 games since, going 5-1 in that stretch. And my guy, here we go. Jacksonville traded for Jakobi Meyers, and that brilliant. He has seen 6 or more targets in each of the last 4 games, scoring a touchdown in 3 straight. He was targeted 10 times the most since joining Jacksonville, and the first time seeing 10 plus targets since week 2.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence targeted him 33% of his passes. Brenton Strange, Brian Thomas Jr., and Tim Patrick, they all saw 20% target share.
Wait a minute. Tim Patrick is seeing the same target share as Brian Thomas Jr.
Unfortunately, yes, that is the situation right now. But right now, it's the Jakobi Meyers show. And I had written a piece for Fantasy Six Pack when I write the drops. And I said, if Jakobi Meyers doesn't get traded from the Raiders, you can drop him. But if he doesn't get traded, you need to hold on to him. So hopefully you held on to him because he got traded. Thank goodness for fantasy purposes, because woo.
Can we free Brock Bowers sing this, right? Like,
right?
Look what Jakobi Meyers is doing. And
really,
no offense, he is not the guy Brock Bowers is.
Nope.
Get a quarterback or free my guy, because he's making like the best catch of all time. It seems like every week now. So, let's talk about the most polarizing and probably disliked guy in the NFL right now. I don't really get it, but it is what it is. Shedeur Sanders, the 5th round rookie. He finished with 364 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 29 rushing yards, and yes, a 4th touchdown, which was on the ground. He led what I thought might be a potential game-tying touchdown late in the fourth quarter. And then the Browns, for reasons only their coaching staff knows, decided, hey, we're going to take the quarterback who's on a heater right now and scoring touchdowns on his last 2 drives. We're going to take him off the field and we're going to run a wildcat play. Okay, I don't get it. But anyway, Sanders became just the second rookie in NFL history with at least 350 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown in the same game, joining Joe Burrow, who ironically did it in 2020 against the Browns, also in a loss. Many of the passing yards for Sanders came on what we would define as explosive plays, namely the 58-yard screen pass to Jukins and a 60-yard touchdown toss to Jerry Jeudy. Sanders now has 4 completions of 50-plus yards since making his first career start back in week 12, which is twice as many as any other quarterback in that span. And we all know if the Browns offense is one thing, it's explosive. Not. Sam Darnold, who has 2, is the only other quarterback with multiple such completions during that time frame. And then Sanders joined Aaron Rodgers, the other most polarizing and probably disliked guy in the NFL, as the only quarterback since 2000 to have 4 completions of 50-plus yards within their first 3 career starts. Roger did so in 2008, but that was after sitting behind Brett Favre for 3 seasons. Do not forget, Shedeur Sanders is a rookie. The Browns obviously didn't really want to draft him, or they wouldn't have taken a quarterback before they took Sanders. And my biggest takeaway from this is his interviews must have been real bad or real concerning or something, because we are seeing immediately this guy's a talented dude. Like people can dislike him all they want. He's got talent. Like he was good in college, and for what the Browns offense has been all year, he's looked good through a few starts in the pros. But again, it's either everybody hates Dion or he did really bad in the interviews. But I'm actually rooting for him because I feel like a lot of people piled on him. A lot of the stuff is I don't know, preconceived notions. I don't want to say the other word, but this isn't the 50s anymore is what I'm going to say, people. So I am pulling for Shedeur Sanders, and I think he's somebody that if he's out there and you need a quarterback, I go pick him up.
Yes. So you're telling me it's a good thing I held on to him in the Scott Fish Bowl, where I am still in the playoffs, still alive.
Rub it in, Casey. Rub it in.
Hey, man, I got to rub it in when I can. So
gonna win the Queen's Classic, still alive.
Yeah,
look at me. I'm Casey. I'm so smart.
You know me. I'm smart.
You are very smart.
Thanks, bud. Thanks, bud. Sure. Okay, here's a dude who is another rookie we're going to talk about. RJ Harvey. Maybe you've heard of him. He's now had between 60% and 65% backfield carry share in all 3 games since the J.K. Dobbins injury. And this week, he received every carry inside the 10-yard line for the 2nd game in a row. And he commanded a season-high 15.8 target share, leading all running backs this week with 22.3 weighted opportunities.
It only took Dobbins getting hurt. That's all it took, right?
It's lovely, not lovely to see people get hurt, but it's nice to see guys come in and get an opportunity.
Yep. I think if this was any other coach than Sean Payton, this dude would be going nuclear rest of season. But we know Sean Payton's gonna spread the ball around, give it to running backs. You're like, that guy's still in the league. Those kind of players. But RJ Harvey, man, and the Broncos, very good chance to get the number 1 seed in the AFC. That's where they sit at this moment. I talked about one of the best players in the NFL earlier, and Josh Allen, especially at the quarterback position. Let's talk about, I think, undoubtedly, we talked about this earlier this year, the number 1 receiver in football now, and that is Puka Nacua. So we knew the Rams, the poor Cardinals, the Rams lost to Carolina last week. And we knew they were going to thump the Cardinals. They were going to be angry, my friend. The sea was angry that day, my friend. And boy, did they ever. As they racked up 530 yards of total offense at 8 yards per play. They faced only 1 third down in the entire first half, which is just that's just
mind-boggling.
That's something I do on Madden on like the non-all Madden level. Speaking of the first half, Puka, he said, you know what? I'm going to do some damage here. He had 136 of his 167 receiving yards in the first 2 quarters alone, finishing with 7 receptions for 167 yards. But most importantly, he scored twice, which is just hard to believe. This is his first game of his career with multiple receiving touchdowns. 8th time in his career he had at least 150 yards from scrimmage, which broke a tie with that dude, Randy Moss. You got Mossed for the second most games with 150 plus scrimmage yards by a wide receiver in their first 3 NFL seasons. That includes the playoffs, by the way. Got to add that caveat. Puka trails Justin Jefferson now by just 1 game for the all-time record. And Nacua said, you know, I'm just going to break all the rookie records now. He also finished his 40th game Sunday with 277 career receptions, passing Michael Thomas by 3 for the most receptions in a player's first 40 games.
Wow. So you're saying that's pretty good, huh?
He's so good. Like, I don't know if you saw his first half, the catches he made, like every one of them were unbelievable. It's not fair. What is this?
It's really not.
He's just like, I'll take that. Thanks.
Yeah. No big deal. No big deal at all. Here's something that let's talk about something that may or may not be a big deal. You can tell me after we talk about this stat. Over the past 2 weeks, the Rams have had a back and forth loss, then a dominant win. And we're going to talk about Blake Corum and how he's outgained Kyren Williams on the ground in both of those games. Corum finished with only 1 fewer carry and was involved throughout. And he outcarried Williams in the first quarter, saw the same number of carries as him in the third. It's really not that different from the Bears' 55-45-ish backfield split they got going on over there.
Or the early Montgomery Gibbs, like same type deal.
Yeah.
I know that some people are probably a little leery of believing this really is now like a kind of a split backfield, because it seems like for over 2 years since Blake Corum's came in the league, we're like, oh, don't look now. Blake Corum's taking over the backfield. And then Kyren Williams will handle 90% of the touches like the next 2 weeks. But I really do think that we're getting to that point because, as you pointed out so brilliantly, when it's both a blowout game and a contested game, that shows that game script has nothing to do with it. They are just giving him opportunities, rotating series. And if Corum continues to deliver the way he has recently, I mean, it's hard to sit a guy that I think he was averaging like almost 8.5 yards per carry this last week. Like that's real good, as they say. So I'll tell you another guy who's been real good since Shedeur Sanders became the quarterback in Cleveland, and that is Harold Fannin Jr., another person who we have spoke about numerous times throughout this season on this show. Let's just go over his stats and the Shedeur Sanders starts. Remember, there's been 3 of them. His 25% target share ranks first among all tight ends. His 65.7 receiving yards ranks second among all tight ends, and his 15.4 fantasy points per game also ranks second amongst tight ends. David Njoku is kind of an afterthought at this point. And, you know, I love David Njoku. He's very good, but a lot of people, I was not one of them. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. We're very high on Fanning coming into the draft. Even after getting drafted in Cleveland, they're like, hey, he's a Swiss Army knife. They're going to use him all over the place. And it's like, okay, we're gonna believe in a tight end and Cleveland behind David Njoku. Okay. Yeah, I'm an idiot. They were right. They've used him up fullback. They've lined him up slot. They lined him up as tight ends. They play a lot of 13 personnel with multiple tight ends. And he's getting open. There's definitely a connection between him and Sanders, both obviously rookies. And it would not surprise me if he continues to be like a top 2, top 3 tight end rest of season. Harold Fannin Jr., go get some. Son.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love to hear that. We're going to talk about another rookie here. Yes, it's rookie fever, y'all. We got Raiders rookie wide receiver Jack Bech, who paced the team in targets with 6. 4 of them came from Kenny Pickett in the fourth quarter. You remember Kenny Pickett? Geno Smith's status.
He's got small hands, right, Casey? Isn't that the guy?
I mean, we don't talk about people's hands on this show. That's just inappropriate and rude. They don't need just calling out their hand size.
Oh, God.
I can pull a women's basketball.
No, I can't even do that. I have like the smallest hands in the world, so I shouldn't be picking on Kenny Pickett.
Let's pick on Geno now. I'm just kidding. Geno's hurt. Geno was hurt. You got to keep it. It's worth tracking his status. Okay, we're not going to discount it though. Pickett and Bech led the team in only 2 scoring drives aside from their first possession of the day. You know, yeah.
After, I'm telling you, I wonder how wrong could somebody be, because a lot of people were on Jack Bech, including myself. I'm like, oh, it's a great late best ball pick this summer. And early in the season, he was losing snaps to another rookie wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Once he started losing snaps to Tyler Lockett, I'm going, what's going on? So I'm glad to see him on the field. Let's talk about somebody that, man, were we excited when this trade went through. We were, pumping fists and, throwing our hands in the air like the end of the Breakfast Club. We were excited, ladies and gentlemen. And then all of a sudden we had to start putting, have you seen this person on milk cartons and, flyers up in neighborhoods, because Rashid Shaheed, he'd been an afterthought in Seattle. I mean, no offense. Cooper Kupp and AJ Barner were out targeting him. I don't know what was going on, but he had a return touchdown, which that's not surprising because that's what the dude does. But more importantly, yay, he finished second among Seahawks pass catchers in target share, right under 17%. And receiving yards, 67. Again, this was the first time he had out-targeted Cooper Kupp and A.J. Barner. Now, granted, you need to take that with a slight grain of salt because it was against my Atlanta Falcons, who apparently they're already on vacation. At least their mind is somewhere else right now. But
okay,
I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. I think Seattle can contend for a Super Bowl, but they're not going to be able to continue winning just going to JSN. They need to use Shaheed. I thought it was a brilliant move that would open up their entire offense. And so far, I don't know. Him and Sam Darnold, I guess they have not hit it off, but hopefully this week is the start of great things.
Please. Ha-ha, hopefully.
Ha-ha.
Ha-ha. Another rookie. Here we go. Emeka Egbuka. We've got
remember that guy?
Shares. Remember that guy? Well, let's go over his target shares versus his fantasy points over each of the past 6 weeks. Remember, Mike Evans has been out. So 37.5%. That was good for 6.5 points. 30.2%, 23.5 points. 32.1%. 9 points off of that. 23.5%. He got 6.2 off of that. 28.6% with 8.2 points. 30.0% with 3.5 points. Since week 8, Egbuka is the wide receiver 4 by target share, but the wide receiver 38 by fantasy points per game. Mike Evans is potentially coming back Thursday, so
that's good for Egbuka owners.
Yes, it actually, it's a good, it will be good for him.
I want to say, because there was a lot of people, not a lot, but there was people out there, again, I love data and stats saying
Yes,
by
you
the
do.
numbers, Egbuka is far exceeding what he should be doing, right? And we're
He-
talking about in terms of like expected fantasy points, separation score, like all these different metrics. And rightfully, those people that were brave enough to put that out when the dude was just killing it, they got hammered. Needless to say, they haven't got apologies from many of those people on social media for being called an idiot and like, are you watching the games? You know, that kind of stuff.
Yay, that's all the
It's
fun stuff.
it's unfair to like, you know, be like, well, now Ibuka sucks and earlier he was great. He's a rookie.
He is a
And
rookie. Thank you.
Baker's been hurt. They've had all kinds of
Baker.
offensive line issues. And let's
Yep.
be honest, there was no way he came into the season with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, thinking, I'm going to be the only good pass catcher we have out there for 7-8 weeks.
He did not think that.
I don't think so, right?
He tempered his expectations. He thought,
So I think that, you know, again, I think Evans coming back is going to help him a lot. And, you know, if Tampa can get healthy, I still think that they could do some damage. I really feel like this is one of those years that just by getting in the dance, you have a chance.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you know, even like the teams that I felt really good about, like the Rams, they got beat by Carolina. But also Carolina fans are like, hey, Keith, we're 7-6. Just because you're a Falcons fan and you're bitter doesn't mean you have to take it out on us. Like, we have some good wins this year. But I'm fascinated for this postseason.
yeah,
And it's cool that we're going to get some new teams. Like we are. We're going to, especially in the AFC.
Yes, that's going to be so exciting to just
upside
see
down
how
world.
this goes. Yeah, this is exciting. First, I don't know. It feels more bizarre than usual, but in a good way. So
yeah.
I like it.
Come here. God, this guy.
Well, this guy, who we
He
got?
has got some serious separation.
buddy.
He is something. So
Nico.
that is it for the week 15 stats you need to know. Yeah, I know, Nico. You were scratching at me. Thanks for that,
You
buddy.
didn't need to know them. Go rewatch and take notes if you didn't take notes, because there's some stats in there that came at you, and I know you want to be ahead of the game.
Yeah, you could listen to it like the first time on YouTube and then or watch it, I guess I should say.
Yeah, watch it. See our
and then
faces.
listen to it on like Spotify or Apple.
Yeah, sure. That would
You
be
know,
perfect.
we would
Happy
really
holidays, all that
appreciate
good stuff.
it,
That
right?
would make our day. Yes, exactly. Our year.
So be sure to again subscribe to
Subscribe.
all the Fantasy Six Pack channels. Be sure to check out fantasy6pack.net. A bunch of amazing stuff, including by Casey and yours truly. And we'll be back.
We
don't have that many weeks left, but
just a few
we
more.
have at least 3. And then if I can convince Casey, we might even do some stuff through the playoffs. But we appreciate all you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week.
Please
and don't be like me, guys. We got like 2 weeks. Christmas is coming. So go do your shopping. But we will see you guys soon. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.